Fall is my favorite season. The weather is cooling down, pumpkin spice lattes are flowing, and the holidays are around the corner. There are so many wonderful things that come with the fall season, so it's only right that our budgets are adjusted accordingly. In this episode, I'm sharing 5 budget adjustments to make for the fall season. And since we know that fall and winter seasons come around the same time every year, establishing a process and routine to prepare your budget ahead of time can keep you on top of your financial goals. There are so many amazing things about the fall season that it can be easy to not care as much about spending as we should. And I'm totally speaking from experience here. I get all of the good feels during fall, but that can result in extra unnecessary spending. So let these budget adjustments that I'm going to share with you help you keep your spending in line during this glorious season. So the first budget adjustment you should be making for the fall season is to create a holiday spending category in your budget. And you'll want to actually create this category as early as September or October. When we know that fall is coming, we know that the seasonal holidays are coming. So Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other holidays around that time. So the sooner we start planning and preparing and getting our mental wheels turning in preparation for the holidays, the better. Adding a holiday spending category into your budget can make sure that you are allocating money to this particular category so that you're not spending unnecessarily or spending without having a plan. So looking at your income and your other budget and spending categories, I want you to allocate an affordable amount to holiday spending so you can start picking stuff up early on. The sooner we can start planning and putting money towards our holiday spending, the less we're gonna need when it's crunch time. So what I don't want to happen is you wait until maybe November or even December to start thinking about what you want to spend for the holidays, and then you have to spend $500 to $1,000, just large amounts of money because you didn't think about this spending earlier. So we want to avoid waiting till the last minute to shop, but also the earlier you think about how much you'll need for holiday spending, the earlier you can start preparing. Now, having this category as soon as you can, ideally September or October, you can say, okay, I make X amount every month. I have X amount going to these budget categories. Where can I make adjustments so that I can have money going to this holiday spending category? Eventually, you will want to work towards having a holiday sinking fund. So maybe a long-term goal you set for yourself once you get more accustomed to your budget and managing your spending is to save regular amounts of money throughout the year. So come holiday season, you already have the funds ready to spend, which would mean minimal impact to your budget. So if you know that you typically spend $1,200 a year on, holiday gifts and decor and things like that, if you start saving $100 in January and save $100 a month until the end of the year, you'll have your $1,200. So again, that's a long-term goal. We don't have to work towards that just yet. I think a great starting point is as early as September or October, adding in that holiday spending category to your budget and starting to put money towards that category. The next budget adjustment to make for the fall season is to evaluate changes to your travel or transportation categories in preparation for the fall and winter seasons. So travel and transportation costs typically go up around the holidays. Whether you are traveling to see family, whether people are coming to you, or you just live in a city where you'll need more money for transportation due to the weather, take some time to think about the impact this could have on your budget. Again, similar to a holiday spending category, the sooner we can allocate extra income to the categories we know go up in the fall and winter seasons, the better off we'll be. So when you're evaluating changes to your travel and transportation categories, some questions that you would want to ask yourself may include, do you need more money for booking flights? Do you need extra gas money for road trips to see your family? Will you be taking more Ubers and Lyfts because of the snow? So depending on where you're located and what your holiday travel plans actually are, you'll want to evaluate any budget changes needed during that time. And the sooner you can start saving and preparing for those costs, the better off you're going to be. Now, if you fly for the holidays, so if you fly to different states during the holiday seasons, you probably know that the cost of tickets go up significantly during the holidays. So I think you have a few options here. Obviously, the earlier you save, the more prepared you'll be. But you can also use an app like Hopper, Hopper, that will track flight price changes. So if the flight is showing $600, Hopper will tell you, you know what, this is high. It'll probably go down. So set an alert and we'll remind you when the price goes down. So you can kind of keep an eye on flight prices and plan accordingly based on that. But I think the sooner you have your funds reserved for those flights, you can take your time in making sure you're getting the best deal. Just know it's gonna be higher. You're gonna pay a premium because you're traveling during the holidays. The next budget adjustment to make for the fall season is to consider things that you need that can be purchased on sale. So I know a lot of times during the holidays, our focus is on obtaining gifts and making sure that we have all of those things ticked and tied. However, if you have been making a list throughout the year of things that you need or want, or if you know there are some things around your home that you've been needing, the holidays could be a great time to get those things on sale. So because the holiday season usually comes with a lot of sales, whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or just general sales, this can be a great time to stock up on those things that you've been needing or even wanting to buy. Now, I am not saying to go crazy with your spending because everything's on sale, but if there is an opportunity to pick up things that you truly do need and you have been needing, and you can get those things at a discount, I want you to be able to take advantage of that. So make sure you take some time to think about things that can be purchased on sale, and then keep an eye out for those things and be ready to purchase at the best price. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Amazon shoppers, but Amazon Prime Day, I believe they have one in October, November. So that can also be a place that you keep an eye out for things. And then obviously, major retailers, even if you have to wait until Black Friday or Cyber Monday, if you already have your list handy and hopefully you have some money allocated to buying those things, you will be ahead of the game. Now, I know I mentioned that usually around this time, our focus on spending is usually for gifts and things like that, but I want you to expand your mind a little bit. So we're not just focused on gifts here. Again, if there are things that you truly need for your home or that you've been having on your wish list for so long, this is a great opportunity to get them. Obviously, gifts that you've been eyeing for friends or family, this could be a great time to get those at a discounted rate. And if there are any services you've been thinking about investing in, so if you've been wanting to work with a particular coach or get a special beauty treatment or something like that, purchasing it and making that jump in the holiday season could result in extra discounts for you. The next budget adjustment to make in the fall is to tighten up your standard discretionary spending categories. So this probably goes without saying, but of course I'm going to say it anyways. Because the fall and winter seasons come with their own additional spending needs, it's smart to reduce the amounts you have allocated in your budget to normal discretionary spending areas. So, for example, let's say you give yourself $500 a month to buy things for yourself, things for your house. Maybe in the fall and winter seasons, you reduce that category to $300. That way you have $200 that you can put specifically towards holiday spending or things that you can get during this holiday time. So we are essentially reallocating your normal discretionary budgeted amounts to holiday specific discretionary spending. And the point is to avoid any extra discretionary or non-necessary spending that could just throw your budget out the window. And since we know there will definitely be some holiday spending because it's just the norm in our worlds, keeping our own non-necessary spending reduced or under control at minimum can definitely just help make sure your budget stays on track, and that's the goal. I think a great thing about the fall season is that there are a lot of seasonal activities that you can do for little to no cost at all. So you can go to a pumpkin patch and take pictures with your kids, your family, or even your friends. You can carve your own pumpkins. You can paint ceramics. You can get adult holiday coloring books or create seasonal coffee flavors at home. You can master your pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie recipe. Those are just some ideas to kind of get your wheels turning, but there are a lot of fun things you can do in the fall that don't have to require a lot of money, and that can also help you keep your normal discretionary spending categories to a minimum. Now, a quick bonus tip here. Since you are going to potentially be reducing your normal budgeted discretionary amounts, I want you to consider doing the same thing for your food and meals out category. So if you tend to have more food spending just because of the holidays, whether it's going to holiday parties, hosting holiday dinners or potlucks or things like that, consider reducing your normal food and dining out budget to compensate for the extra food spending that you'll have because of the holidays. The final budget adjustment to make in the fall is to take note of things that come up so that you can be prepared for the next fall and winter season. So we can't plan for everything, and trust me, I've tried. And no matter how prepared I feel, something unexpected always comes up. I feel like it's just inevitable. So now when that happens, I make note of things so I won't be caught off guard again. And, obviously telling myself you can't plan for everything, but the more information you have, the better prepared you can be. So I want you to do the same when it comes to the holidays and your finances. Be intentional this year. Be present. Make note of your thoughts and feelings and your purchases and the whys behind them. That way, when you experience something similar in the future, you can have a game plan, right? So make note of things that come up that you were not prepared for, that totally threw you off. And before the fall season next year, review that list and adjust your game plan. You can also use this time to think about what worked and what didn't work with your money and budget during this season, and use that information to help you just make better changes next year. Fall and winter come around every year. So every year there's a new opportunity to improve and just get better. So hopefully I got your mental wheels turning with these 5 budget adjustments that you can make for the fall season. The goal is to be proactive with your planning and budgeting for the holidays. Things may come up that are outside of your control, but having a game plan is better than having no plan at all. So I want to leave you with this reminder to check out the City Girl Savings Podcast episode number 45, How to Prep Your Budget for the Holidays, for even more holiday budgeting tips. And I'll be sure to link to it in the show notes. Happy fall, my friends.